For years, people have been telling the same old story about Africa. A story about poverty, disease, and a desperate need for outside help. But here's the thing, nobody bothered to hit the next track button. Because Africa's story has changed. This is a place where brilliant minds are taking on their toughest challenges and coming up with solutions the world has never seen. Get ready for Africa's health revolution, where innovation isn't just a buzzword, it's a way of life. Let's start in Cameroon, a country that's more famous for its incredible football than, say, its medical technology. But that's all about to change, thanks to a young engineer named Arthur Zhang. See, Arthur looked at a major problem, a severe shortage of cardiologists, especially outside the big cities, and he thought, hold my beer, I got this. He went full-on superhero and invented the Cardiopad, Africa's first medical tablet that can diagnose heart problems remotely. Imagine that, a tablet that can perform an ECG test, no matter where you are. This is a game changer, people. Think about all the people in rural areas who have to travel for days, sometimes weeks, just to see a heart specialist. The Cardiopad eliminates those barriers. A healthcare worker can use it to get a patient's heart readings and instantly zap those results to a specialist in the city. It's like telemedicine on steroids. But here's the thing that blows my mind. This isn't some fancy gadget flown in from overseas. This is 100% made in Africa, designed, developed, and manufactured on the continent. And it's not just helping people in Cameroon. The Cardiopad is being used in other African countries, proving that African innovation has global impact. This isn't just about a cool gadget, it's about equity, about giving everyone, no matter where they live, a fighting chance at a healthy life. So, the next time someone tells you Africa needs saving, tell them about Arthur Zhang and the Cardiopad. Tell them about a continent that's not waiting for a hero, because it's already full of them. Now let's talk infrastructure, or rather the lack of it. We all know that crumbling roads and unreliable electricity can be a major buzzkill, especially when it comes to healthcare. But leave it to Africa to turn a challenge into an opportunity. Enter the era of drones and 3D printers, the ultimate problem solvers for a continent on the move. Let's start with drones. Imagine this. You're in a remote village hours away from the nearest hospital and you need blood stat. In the past, that scenario might have ended tragically, but not anymore. Companies like Zipline and Lifebank are using drones to deliver vital medical supplies like blood, vaccines, and even oxygen directly to where they're needed most. These aren't just your average pizza delivery drones, folks. These are high-tech lifesavers, navigating tough terrain and beating the clock to reach people in need. It's like something out of a sci-fi movie, except it's real life. And it's happening in Africa right now. And then there's 3D printing, which is basically magic disguised as technology. Need face masks during a pandemic? 3D print them. Need ventilator parts? 3D print them. This technology is allowing African countries to become self-sufficient in producing essential medical equipment, instead of relying on imports that might be delayed or too expensive. These innovations are proof that Africa isn't just catching up with the rest of the world, it's overtaking it. We're not waiting for the future, we're building it, one drone delivery and 3D printed medical marvel at a time. Chapter 3. Malaria-resistant mosquitoes, Burkina Faso bites back. Now, let's talk about a disease that's plagued Africa for far too long. Malaria. It's a killer, plain and simple, claiming hundreds of thousands of lives every year. For decades, the fight against malaria has felt like an uphill battle. But in Burkina Faso, they're changing the game with a revolutionary approach, genetically modified mosquitoes. Yes, you heard that right. Scientists in Burkina Faso have basically said to malaria, you want to play dirty? Two can play that game. They've engineered mosquitoes that are resistant to the malaria parasite, meaning they can't transmit the disease. These modified mosquitoes then mate with wild mosquitoes, passing on their resistance genes and eventually reducing the overall mosquito population. Think about it. Instead of just treating malaria after people get sick, they're stopping it at the source. It's like shutting down the mosquito factory before it can even open for business. But this innovation isn't just about eradicating a disease. It's about African scientists taking ownership of a problem that has plagued the continent for centuries. The team in Burkina Faso has shown the world that Africa has the talent, the resources, and the determination to find homegrown solutions to its most pressing health challenges. The future is now. Africa's healthcare revolution needs you. We've seen the incredible innovations happening across Africa. From Cameroon to Kenya to Burkina Faso, the continent is bursting with solutions. But this is just the beginning. These innovations prove beyond doubt that Africa has the capability, creativity, and expertise to solve its own healthcare challenges. But for Africa to truly take charge of its health future, governments must act now. Invest in medical education, support local healthcare startups, strengthen healthcare infrastructure, hold leaders accountable, and stop the brain drain. The future of African healthcare must be built by Africans, for Africans. The time for action is now.